Hello everybody, welcome back to March Beer Reviews. I hope you've had a cracking day. I've got a brand new beer for you out of Tesco's, and it is South, from the South and North collaboration project from primarily Brew By Numbers. I think these beers have literally just been released. I was doing my usual meal deal trip into Tesco in South Norfolk today, and my Tesco's is rubbish near me, but unbelievably they had this on the shelf. They did have the ticket for the North version of this. I'll come on to that in a minute. But they didn't have it in stock. Even though the very kind guy in there went and had a look for me, it just wasn't in stock. Right, what is this beer then? It is a Pavlova pastry sour. It was £3.50 on the Tesco shelf in a 440 can. And yeah, 6%, as you probably just saw there. This sort of little project, well I say little project, it's probably quite a big project, I think it's fronted by Brew By Numbers. They've brought together some breweries from the south of England, obviously Yonder being in Somerset near Cheddar, and then Staggeringly Good being from the south coast near Portsmouth. They've also done a North project. Hopefully it's a beer that will come to the channel soon. I don't know what beer that is. I didn't want to look too far into it, to be honest. I was waiting for it to appear on my Tesco shelf. But yeah, quite an exciting thing. I mean, Brew By Numbers do some cracking beers anyway, don't they? And to get Staggeringly Good and Yonder on board and to see those breweries on a supermarket shelf is pretty huge. I had a Staggeringly Good IPA a few months ago, really enjoyed it. And Yonder, when I went down to camp in Cheddar last summer now, so that would have been what? It was England played Germany in the Euros, so that probably would have been what, July time. As we were about 5 minutes away from the campsite, I saw the Yonder brewery on the right hand side. I set my wife up in the camper van, or the awning, got a driveway awning for the camper van, and I shot back to the brewery and I bought their whole range, and there was some crackers in there. Primarily they were like sours or gozers. They had a couple of they had like a modern bitter and a mixed fermentation pale. Yonder do some very different stuff. They don't brew normal beers, they do very different stuff. But they were all cracking, really, really good, especially the sours, like blew my mind how good they were. Like I say, Staggeringly Good, had an IPA from them, and it was, yeah, very, very nice. Now, quite surprising to see this on the shelf, if I'm honest. There was sort of no noise made about it, it just appeared today. And I went on Instagram after my lunch and I just saw it was kind of all over Instagram, so I'm really excited for this. The quality of this beer should be absolutely up there. If I don't know too much about what Staggeringly Good do with their kind of special out there beers, but it's a sour, and if it's got Yonder's name on it, it should be pretty good. I don't drink a lot of sours. Right then, let's not mess about. Let's get it into a glass. Let's have a look. It's a Pavlova sour, pastry sour. God knows it even. It just blows my mind. I don't even know what to expect. So yeah, let's get this into a glass then. Whoa, there you go. Look, nice bit of smoke and some bubbles on the can opening. Oh, it probably is going to be a funky colour because most of Yonder's sour beers are like the craziest colours. I've built it up and that just looks like a normal berry sour. Get it in the glass then. So we've got a one finger white head that I anticipate is going to dissipate very quickly. We've kind of got like a straw pink, like a really sort of pale pink cloudy beer in the glass. Can't see too much on the carbonation. Doesn't look overly carbonated. Let's get a little nose then. So I'm getting raspberry. That's probably the raspberry Pavlova. That's quite a popular Pavlova, isn't it, raspberry? It does smell sour, which is good news because I had a lot of hope with Yonder's name being on this can, with it being a sour. I'm getting a bit of sugary sweetness, maybe the Pavlova style, maybe a bit of meringue, like that sort of really overly sweetness. And I'm getting a good sort of malty oat style aroma out of here too. Smells cracking. Yeah, it smells like a pastry sour. Right, cheers everybody. Let's go in for the kill. It's not overly sour. Oh, some nice tart raspberries at the end. That works really well. One big criticism, it's not overly sour. The midpoint is sour and it just really tails off quickly. But they've nailed the raspberry pastry thing. So on all of Yonder's beers that I had that were pastry sours, they all contained oats, which give it that lovely bready pastry ending. It's a bit strange in the sense, it's not overly sweet, but it's a bit strange in the sense that the raspberry follows the pastry. Oh, that meringue at the start. It's really, really nice, really tart. It's just not sour, and it's just really not all that sour. But it's still a very, very nice sour beer. Yonder's beers are notorious. Well, I say, don't want to do them a disservice because they were very, very good. Very, very good. And I don't begrudge spending the money. But at the time I ordered one of each of the lineup in the fridge, and I think it was about 10 cans, and it come to like 70 quid or something. I'll have to fact check that. But my point is the Yonder beers are quite expensive because there's a lot of work that goes into them. I get it. I totally get it. So to see the Yonder name on a can for £3.50, it's quite exciting. I'm sorry to bang on about Yonder and not Staggeringly Good. We know what Brew By Numbers can do. I just don't know much about Staggeringly Good. I know a lot of people rate them. I just haven't had much and I don't know much about them. The raspberries are sharp. You do get that meringue sweetness, but it's only momentarily, or that pavlova style sweetness. It's in there momentarily and it's gone. It's a sour beer. It's a fruit based sour beer, so it is sweet by its nature, but not overly sweet. And then the real soft oatiness that's meant to form the pastry side. That's beautiful. I really am enjoying this. Yeah, that's lovely. Let's have a look at the can then. I've got a tax return to do in a minute, so I'm going to save the rest of this can for that. To represent the South, Brew By Numbers in London have teamed up with Yonder from Somerset and Staggeringly Good from Portsmouth. All three breweries share the same passion for heavily fruited beers, combining their own expertise to craft a pavlova-inspired sour beer. The resulting beer is stacked with raspberry, blueberry and passion fruit. Blueberry and passion fruit? Let's have a little look at that. Maybe a bit of sour blueberry in there, but not passion fruit for me. Blueberry, passion fruit, and hits a perfect balance between dessert sweetness and fruity acidity. I'd probably say that. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. If that's what they've aimed for, then that's certainly what they've achieved. Be really interesting to see what the North, the Brew By Numbers North version's like. Let's have a look at the ingredients then. Water, malted barley, wheat, oats, raspberry, blueberry, passion fruit, vanilla, hops and yeast. Just not getting that passion fruit, if I'm honest. Yeah, I think that's pretty solid, to be honest. Yonder know what they're up to. Staggeringly Good. From what I mean, the beer I've had from them is very, very nice. I need to try their range really. This is probably the video that kind of makes me go into that. Brew By Numbers, I've had a lot of their range. They're just cracking. They produce some really good beer in on the supermarket shelf as well. I think all things considered, for £3.50, I think that's pretty decent. They were trying to strike a balance. They weren't trying to go overly sour with it. They were really trying to strike a balance between sweet and sour, which I think it certainly does that. I said it initially. I think it works really well. Is it the best sour beer best even pastry sour beer I've had? No, it's not. The Yonder own brew beers certainly dominate that department for me. Sorry, it's been a long day. But I think this is probably. I think this is one of the first pastry sour beers, because pastry sours have gone nuts, haven't they? I mean, it's all Instagram's been dominated by pastry sours. Everyone's been getting in on the act, and it wasn't ever going to be long before that trend hit the supermarket shelf. From what I can remember, I think that's the first pastry sour beer on the supermarket shelf, and I think it's probably a good little gateway into it, into that sort of division of or kind of area of beer. £3.50. I think it's pretty decent. I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5. Well worth a look for £3.50 with Yonder and Staggeringly Good's name on it. You can't go wrong. There we go. I hope you've had a good day, guys. I hope the rest of the week treats you well. If you could ding dong that or hit that subscribe button, ding dong the bell, and hit like of it as well. I really appreciate it. Have you had any Staggeringly Good beer? Let me know how it is. Like I said, I've only had that IPA. And also, if you had any Yonder, because I raved about them to all my mates. All the Yonder beers are on my Untapped, rated super high. Get in the comments and let me know. That was alright. That was pretty decent. Have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching. Cheers.